Sunnis interpret attributes of Allah that indicate physicality or limbs, like the hand or face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in one of two ways. One, that we say it's metaphorical for something else, so hand, control, power, or we say that Allah himself, God knows what he meant by them, but we definitely deny the impossible meaning of Allah having physical parts.
No, Allah shouldn't have a hand because we have hands, and then his hand is similar to ours. And if we said the ant has a hand, and the rabbit has a hand, and human beings have a hand, and the door has a handle, let's call it a hand. The hand of the door is different than my hand, is different than the rabbit's, is different than the ant, and there isn't a person who is sane that will come to you and say, no, you don't have hands. Because if you say you have hands, then you will be similar to a door or an ant.
Brother, all the examples you mentioned don't work because they're all physical hands. They're all made of matter. They all have a particular size, shape. They take up space. Doesn't work as an example.
You say, what? No, my hand is befitting of me. The hand of the ant is befitting of it.
This doesn't work to save it. A physical hand does not befit Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had a physical hand that is up in space somewhere and a certain size, shape, and so on, it will have to be created. Anything that is a form is created and determined. Why is anything with shape and form created and determined? Because it is a certain way, right? And so there was a decision to make it that way. It could have been a million other ways, and it's a particular way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's physical hand, if you believe in it, will be a certain way. And so someone decided to make it that way, and that would be the creator of that hand.
Why is this problematic? Because people indulge in philosophy, and they find this to be problematic.
Logic, which Taymiyyans and Salafis consider haram to study, is not the same as philosophy. Logic is something that we all use, and when we study logic, we use it to make sure our thinking is correct. This is what happens when you don't study logic.
Instantly ask them this question. Say, does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exist? They say, yes, of course. You say, do you exist? He says, yes, of course I exist. We say, no, then Allah doesn't exist. Because you exist, and then if he exists and you exist, then he is similar to you. So we have to deny. Just like we denied his hand, because you have a hand, we have to deny his existence.
This is really where the problem lies. You're assuming that things that exist have to be physical. And no, existence doesn't need to be physical. Many things exist that are not physical. For example, love and knowledge and consciousness. All of these things are things that exist, but not in a space. They're not made of matter. So the mind of the Taymiyyan is a mind that is materialist. It thinks only of existence as physical and in a space. So if you can't put it in a space, it's not real. This is the crux of the problem. Allah is the creator of space and time, and so he is not subject to these things. He is not within a particular place or space. And to claim that he's above the throne and that is not his place because it's outside of creation, all of that is untrue. That is also a place because it's in relation to creation. And you're denying that he's here, but he's there. So you're clearly putting him somewhere into a place because you are physicalizing God. This is the problem with the Taymiyyan school. They physicalize God. And this is the essence of tashbih, or comparing Allah to his creation, and anthropomorphism. Finally, to end the video, the real problem with this, guys, is if you physicalize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you make him into a body with a shape and limbs and you put him into a space, you have given him all the attributes of creation. And so you have made him into a created entity. Someone else other than Allah would have determined him in that way and made him that way. And so the God that you would believe in would necessarily have to be a created being. And therefore, your school of thought can never disprove atheism.